Hello. How is everyone today? I am fine. It's been kind of a busy week. Not as busy as last week, but I have been working on a bunch of personal things, I guess. So, just kind of busy. But we're going to finish Walt's Good Ending today and then move on and play Final Fantasy III. We'll see how I feel after we finish Cinderella Phenomenon, but if I'm still wanting to stream, we'll go and do the new Memory of Chaos and Star Rail. But if we don't do it today, we might do that Friday. We'll see. I might just record again instead of streaming it. I also woke up kind of late, so we're streaming a little later today, but not by too much. Has it been snowing where everyone is? We've gotten snow the last few days. Nothing that really sticks, but it keeps snowing. And it's been cold. I mean, it has to be cold to snow, but I would like it to stop snowing. I guess we'll just jump in. Actually, give me a sec. Okay. I needed to move where the guide was. Continue. We're on chapter 9. Oh, before we move on, my prediction of how the good ending's gonna go is, so bad ending was we let our mother take our magic and pretty much we just became a doll of ourselves, and Walt's just stayed by her side, and the queen pretty much destroyed the world, it seemed like. So my prediction is that we're going to kill our mother, take back the kingdom, and Walt will become our advisor. That is what I think is gonna happen. I mean, obviously he's gonna be our lover in the end too, but like, I don't see him not leaving our side, so becoming the new advisor would make sense. But that is my prediction. We'll see if that's actually what happens. I stand in an alleyway with Walt's adjuring and Karma making sure to stay hidden in shadow as we watch the sea of people moving towards the plaza. Garland is scouting around the plaza for Knight's positions, and we have been waiting here for him. There's so many people. Okay, this is where we split up. Remember that we're trying to avoid needless battle. If anything should happen, fleeing is the better option. I'm not a fool. I would not pick a fight that would put everyone in needless danger. I'm glad you understand. Remember, we're only here to watch and listen. I don't want us to get into a skirmish if we can avoid it. So should anything go wrong, we need you to retreat, Princess. We need to do... I would not leave you all behind. Lucetta, this isn't the time to be stubborn. It's not about stubbornness. It is just that all I have ever done is run. I refuse to keep fleeing. I have people to protect, and I will not let them down. Running away isn't always cowardice. That may be, but sometimes there are situations that we need to face head on. This is one of those situations. Please understand, Waltz. I just don't want you to get hurt, Lucetta. I know. I look at Waltz, feeling at a loss. No matter what I say, he will always insist on my safety first. Garland suddenly appears with a stiff frown. Look who I found. I turn to look at Garland and then notice the man beside him. My eyes widen at the sight of it. Fritz? Garland pushes him and Fritz stumbles forward. He falls on to his knees, only a few inches from me. You're okay. Thank goodness you're all right, Princess. I twitch at the sight of his face. There is no sign of the wicked smile that was on his face when he was under the guise of Varg. Though he looks confused, the relief in his eyes seems genuine. Are you truly Fritz, or are you Varg? Or both? I'm the Fritz you've always known, Princess. You're a loyal knight. I raise an eyebrow. I can still remember what happened weeks ago when the mask fell off his face in the room with the tenebrium. In that moment, I saw Fritz's face, no matter what Varg said. Varg was in league with Alacaster and Mythos. The man I saw back there was definitely Fritz, even if he never confirmed it. What are you doing here? Fritz flinches. I've been searching for you. Why? So you can take me back to Mythos, or are you here to kill me? Fritz bows low, his clenched hands trembling at his side. I will not surrender you to Sir Mythos. My loyalty has always been to the kingdom and to you. I could never hurt you, princess, but I do not blame you for doubting me. My father... I would have stopped him if I knew. Fritz glances up at me slowly, his expression absolute. I had just escaped yesterday when I was captured by knights. I managed to escape from them today, but only barely. I was supposed to meet the Lucis bearer yesterday. Fritz glares not at me, but through me as if remembering something unpleasant. That was when I was able to take control of my body again just a few days ago. I've been searching for you, but instead found some witches who seem to be in league with the Lucis bearer. I requested an audience with her as soon as possible because I wasn't sure how long I could keep Varg at bay. At bay, Fritz explained. About Varg? No, about the audience. Princess, this could all be some elaborate ruse from him. I have a responsibility to at least hear him out. What do you want from Parfait? I have important information about Hildur. Mother? Lady Parfait did say that her and Delora were going to meet with someone who had information on Hildur. And you believe that this meeting was with that man? Karma turns to Fritz, clearly skeptical. But seems like it could be coincidence. How are we to believe you? Fritz is silent for a few moments. After some time he speaks again, more hesitantly. I know that apologizing won't change the fact that I have betrayed the princess and the kingdom, but right now I am doing my best to right my wrongs while I still have control over my body. The knights are still searching for me as we speak, so I will make this as brief as I can. Hildur is growing weaker. What? I haven't been myself for the past few weeks, but I still have portions of Varg's memories. I remember that she is bedridden, still being treated for wounds that she sustained during the Great War. Then she is now sick like Parfait, only Mother seems to have it worse than her. I overheard Mythos say that the crystal no longer recognizes her as its sole bearer. Parfait said something similar, but she said she could no longer feel Mother's connection with the tenebrium. But what Fritz just said, it seems like the crystal has seen both of you as the bearers. It's stretching its energy to the both of you. This might be why Hildur hasn't regained her full power and has remained weak. Walt stares at Fritz, eyes wide. The crystal having two bearers? I don't think such a thing was possible. Is that why Hildur still refuses to show herself in public? Yes, the witches who used to be on her side doubt her capability to rule. None of them want to help her when she is still so weak. Mythos figures that the only way to get the crystal to fully accept Hildur is to drain the rest of your powers. That is why the palace has issued a higher bounty on your head. But Father is no longer interested in actively hunting for you. There's been a rift between him and Mythos because of this. Walt crosses his arms, his expression thoughtful. I'm surprised Hildur hasn't disposed of Alacaster yet. If he's still alive, it means that he must still play an important role in her plans. Fritz's expression quickly morphs into something grim as he frowns down at the ground. You're right. Waltz and I exchange a look before we turn back to Fritz. Mythos plans to kill my father today. Fritz's eyes are distant, his mouth pulled into a taut grimace. All I can do is stare at him, uncertain of what he just told me. Hildur will show herself to the public today. She and Mythos plan to kill Father in front of an audience in hopes that their fear and despair will fuel the tenebrium. They think fueling the tenebrium might make Hildur stronger. They plan to use the fear of the public to achieve their own ends. That is not good. With this many people here, the Tenebrium might indeed see the surge of power again. Even the weakened Hildur will be difficult to fight, but we stand more of a chance against her now than we do if she fuels the Tenebrium with negativity. Please save the kingdom, princess. Fritz looks at me imploringly. I shake my head slowly. I am confused. You betrayed us, but then you're still helping us as well. Which side are you on? The only reason why I'm working with them in the first place is because of my curse. I swear it. Fritz tries to stand up, but his knees wobble and suddenly he is down on the ground again, his hands clenching at his chest. Fritz? No, not yet. Fritz looks at me, his pale face covered in sweat. I have no idea how long I can suffocate Varg, so please, bind me, freeze me, do whatever you can to keep me from chasing after you. I don't want to hurt anyone anymore. Fritz kneels over, his forehead touching the ground. Please. Waltz. I know. Walt snaps his fingers, and a rope of light appears around Fritz's wrists, pulling him down to the ground. I furrow my eyebrows at Fritz even as he cocks his head to look at me. Thank you. You don't have much time left. I plan to deliver my message to the Luce's bearer, but I leave it in your capable hands instead. Fritz, I'm sorry. I will do anything to protect my charge. Now go. Jerry nods at me. Don't worry, Garland and I can keep an eye on him. Garland quickly informs us of the knights' positions around the plaza and gives us clues where we might hide to avoid their prying eyes. After he has finished his briefing, Walt's, Karma, and I hurry off. Father, please watch over us today. There are so many people here. They have no idea that this seemingly harmless speech will be the start of their nightmares. I've been fiddling with my fingers since we got here, my nerves slowly taking over me. There are so many knights. I pull down the hood of my cloak to make sure that my face is concealed from them. Walt suddenly reaches out to take my hand. He raises it to his lips. Walt looks at me with a gentle smile. Don't worry, I won't let anything happen to you. I'm not worried about myself. I am more worried about the people's safety, as well as our friends. I will not forgive myself if something bad happened to them. You're not the only one responsible for protecting everyone here. Remember, I will always share your burden. We need to pick... I know. I look up at him and smile. Thank you. I've told you many times that I would do anything for you, Lucetta. I feel the same way. Waltz wraps his arms around my waist and draws me closer to him. Waltz? Waltz takes my hand and plants a kiss on my fingers. You worry too much, princess. How I wish I could share your optimism. And his casualness. How does he manage to act like this in front of so many people, and at so dire a time? The king is here. The woman announces the king's presence, and Waltz and I immediately turn our attention to the stage. He takes a step away from me, arms at his side, expression suddenly stoic. Alcester walks to the center of the platform with a triumphant smile. Good day, my loyal subjects. Everyone goes silent as the sound of his voice. I know that much has happened in our kingdom since the late King Gennaro passed away. We are still exerting our efforts to find the king's murderer, his very own daughter. Rest assured that justice shall find this criminal, even if she is our own princess. Anyone who is able to surrender her to the palace will be rewarded handsomely. Members of the crowd begin to chatter among each other. It hurts that people believe him, but I cannot say I blame them. As your king, I will do everything in my power to make sure that the kingdom flourishes under my rule. My, what a sight. Even after all these years, you humans never change. That voice. I frantically look around for her, but though her voice echoes around us, she is nowhere to be seen. Where is she hiding? The crowd grows restless at the sound of her voice. Many try to search for her with their eyes. You lot are nothing but manipulative, dying rodents, and yet you call us witches the wicked ones. A bright light fades into existence right beside Alacaster. A silhouette emerges from the white light, and suddenly I can see her in all her wicked glory. My mother, the witch who killed my father, Mythos, stands beside her. She is here. Her sudden appearance causes an almost restless crowd to break into a panic. Silence. One word from her and the crowd falls into silence. Not a single person dares to move, their eyes now glued to the witch in front of them. Alacaster acts more quickly than I expected, drawing a sword from its sheath and pointing it at her neck. You, what are you doing here? You should be thankful I let you play king for so long, but I am afraid playtime is over. The crown belongs to me. Mother faces the crowd with a smile and spreads her arms in a gesture of grandness. Angelia, your queen is back. Mother is even paler than when I last saw her, making the dark circles stand out even more beneath her eyes. She looks worse than Parfait. I won't let you steal my crown, witch. Oh, but I am not the one who stole it in the first place. Alacaster grits his teeth and charges towards Mother. Mythos deftly steps in front of her and casts the shield. Alacaster slams his sword into an invisible wall. Then, with a wave of Mythos' hand, Alacaster is suddenly thrown back. Once again, the crowd becomes restless. I've tolerated you for far too long, human, but right now you are inconsequential. Sparkling icicle darts appear in midair as Mother raises her hand. They point outwards, casting themselves in the direction of the townspeople. She used the spell before, but now there are even more of them. She looks weak, yet she can still manage this much. Which is a weird thing to say, considering, Parfait is weak, and she was able to do a bunch of powerful spells when she helped us escape. She could easily destroy this part of town with that spell. I stare at Walt, eyes wide, then lower my voice into a panicked whisper. I thought she was planning to kill Alacaster. Seems like the plans have changed. Farewell, my disloyal subjects. I cannot let her do this. Lucetta. I ignore Walt and quickly run to the center of the crowd, knowing this will be the most effective place to set up a barrier. A strong gust of wind causes my hood to fall off. I stretch out my arms as I concentrate on casting a shield around the entirety of the crowd. Isn't that the princess? Which? I do my best to shut out everyone's voices as I push all of my energy towards the palms of my hands, imagining an impenetrable glass arching in front of us. As soon as I have cast the massive shield, the icicles shatter upon impact, falling away. I wince at the impact, but force myself to stand steady even when I am pushed back. I will not let you harm anyone anymore, Mother. The crowd begins to murmur around us. Ah, so you finally showed up, little one. It's good to see you again, my dear daughter. I knew I'd see some sort of reaction if I opened my speech like this. She did this to draw me out. Now be a good girl and hand over what is rightfully mine. You won't get away with this, witch. Alacaster is once again back on his feet, his sword poised and ready to strike. He cannot defeat Mother with a mere sword. Mother looks at Alacaster, a wide grin slowly parting her lips. But I already have. Mother flicks her hand and a silver light begins to gather in her palm. I recognize that spell. As much as I hate Alacaster for what he has done to the kingdom, I cannot just stand idly by as she summons a spell to kill him. I push myself forward, rushing towards Alacaster. Alacaster, run! But I am too late. A second later, a sword of light appears and impales Alacaster right through his chest. No. This time, the crowd finally begins to disperse. People begin to push past each other, screaming and crying. Most of them are almost at the edge of the palace before Mother casts another spell, creating a barrier to lock everyone inside. A strange wave of energy pulses through my body, making me stumble. That's right. Feed me your fear. The people's negative energy is fueling the tenebrum. My eyes shift towards Mother, whose grin is deranged, inhumanly wide. A shiver runs down my spine. Mother, stop this madness. In my moment of hesitation, Walt rushes forward to cast the spell. Purple spikes run towards Mother, but she does nothing to stop them. Mythos effortlessly stands in front of her, casting a shield. The force of Walt's spell sends him stumbling backwards. I hear his shield crack. Mythos tries to keep it up, but ends up succumbing to the force of Walt's spell. Eventually, the glass shatters and the spikes force their way through. One of them impales Mythos through the chest. Did we kill Mythos last time? I don't remember that. Ugh. Mother glances at Walt, her lips pulled in a pleased smile. Impressive. You can still use your magic even after having been separated from it for so long. I expected no less from my superior apprentice. Mother turns to Mythos and raises her eyebrows slowly. You are still a disappointment, Myth. My queen. Those are the last words he manages before he stops speaking. Father. Fritz's voice echoes through the sudden silent plaza. He rushes towards Alacaster, who has managed to walk a good distance away from Mother before he collapses to the ground. Soon, Fritz is kneeling right beside Alacaster's bloody body. Jern and Garland are right behind him. I am about to walk over to them, but Karma holds my arm and pulls me back. Don't. But you do not want to see their eyes on such a ghastly sight up close, Princess. Mother watches Fritz and the two knights approach with disinterest. This is his fate for trying to steal what is rightfully mine. Alacaster brings his hand to his mouth and coughs. I can see blood on his hands. Father's last moments flash through my head, but I will the memory away as Mother turns her gaze on me. Mother surveys me with a warm smile. She holds out her hand and beckons me over. Join me, Lucetta. We were meant to rule this kingdom, hand in hand, from the start. These humans do not deserve your protection. They deserve your suffering after everything they've done to our kind. I shake my head. I'd rather die than join you. What? Ungrateful brat. This is how you repay everything I've done for you? I have You have done nothing for me. Very well. If you wish for death, I shall give it to you. Once I'm done with you, I will destroy this kingdom and start anew. It will be a kingdom for the witches and I. I will not let you do that. Mother is taken by surprise by another purple spike suddenly pushed through the ground towards her. She steps back, avoiding the blunt of the attack, but her arm is still grazed. Blood oozes from a newly opened gash. Walt, you'll have to go through me first. You can't stop me, traitor. Mother extends her hands, and in mere moments, lightning has suddenly appeared and is winding its way up Walt's body. No. We need to run to Waltz this time. I rush towards Waltz. Let him go. Lucetta, no, it's not safe. Mother, please, don't hurt him. Mother looks at me and then to Waltz. Her lips slowly curl into a wicked grin. So, this is what your relationship has become? My heart is in my throat as I draw closer to where they are. Let him go. I will do anything, just let him go. Anything. Mother's voice is terrible and sweet, her voice filled with poison. I cannot bring myself to look at her. Instead, I keep my eyes firmly focused on Waltz. When Walt speaks my name, it is in a soft voice that I have come to love so dearly. Lucetta. If you wish so much to save him, then you must return what you have taken from me, the crystallum tenebrium. And then you will become my sweet, obedient daughter once again. Only then will I let Waltz go. Waltz's eyes begin to dim, and I can see the hope draining out of them. I am sorry, Waltz, but I cannot lose you too. You know where to find me, Lucetta. The longer you keep me waiting, the longer he suffers. There's a blinding flashlight, and then Mother and Waltz are both gone. No! A dull ache begins to spread through my chest. Again? I wasn't able to do anything again. Why am I so weak? Suddenly, I feel Durin's hands on my shoulder. I turn to look at her. She stares at me solemnly for a few moments before her expression breaks and she shakes her head. Don't blame yourself for this. There's nothing that you could have done. I have to save him. Durin looks through me and I follow her gaze. The people are starting to back away, their expression a mixture of fear and anger. This is exactly like 4 years ago. What should we do now? That witch just killed the new king. Everyone, it's best for all of you to go home and stay there where you'll be safe. And what? Wait until that witch kills us? One woman points an accusing finger at me. Her fear is palpable. That murderer is a witch as well. She's exactly like her mother, a wicked witch. The people begin to curse me. I stand quietly and listen to their insults. I cannot blame them for thinking this way. Karma moves to stand beside Durin, and the two of them shield me from the angry masses. I doubt any of these people will listen to anything I have to say. Stop! A familiar man walks towards us with a gentle smile. You are... Yes, you remember me? You helped make my daughter happy on her special day with your gift. I am surprised when both her and her wife come to stand beside me. What are you doing? I can finally properly repay you for what you've done. The man smiles at me before turning his attention to the crowd. We won't let you hurt the princess. Rumors may have spread about her being a cold and wicked person, but those rumors are false. I know the truth. She's truly a kind person. She just protected us from the evil queen. Have you no shame? The angry shouting begins to fade into hush. confusions and aggressive whispering. And that's right. We won't let you hurt Big Sister. These are the children that Walt and I played with, the ones that watched his show. The children stand by my side. Big Sister is a good person and we won't let you hurt her. I can only stare in shock at everyone around me. My vision blurs as tears begin to come to my eyes. I quickly wipe them away with the back of my hand. Everyone. A simple act of kindness can go a long way, can't it? These people believe in me. That is why I have to live up to their hopes. I take a deep breath and start walking forward. Jurin grabs my hand. Her brow creases with worry, but I shake my head at her and smile. I doubt you can hear it. I doubt my microphone can pick it up, but there are birds outside this window that have been chirping nonstop for like 20 minutes now, and they're so loud. I guess they're happy that it stopped snowing, but like, can you guys stop? I will be okay. Jurin looks at me for a few moments before she finally releases me. Now that I am directly in front of everyone, the area has quieted. I close my eyes and take another deep breath. Slowly, I get down on one knee before them. I am sorry. The crowd begins to murmur again. I can hear more than a few stifled gasps. Princess, you shouldn't. I raise my hand to silent Jurin. I once again look to the townspeople. I know my words are meaningless, but I still want to apologize for everything my mother has done, and also to the people I have hurt. I was blind and naive, ignoring the fear and anxiety of so many people. But I have grown since then, and now I see with clear eyes the hatred you have for my mother and for me. The crowd remains silent, so I continue. King Gennaro was killed by my mother, and I was not strong enough to save him. So yes, you are correct. I am the reason he is dead now. But I have made a promise to him, and I intend to keep it. I will protect Angelia in his stead, and I hope that all of you will give me a chance to prove myself worthy as your princess and your future queen. I promise I will make things right again, no matter what it takes. I bow my head once again before standing. I then turn to Jurin and Karma. I notice that Fritz and Garland are absent and that Alacaster is nowhere to be seen. Where are Garland and Fritz? They took Alacaster's body away from all of this. Body, you mean he has passed. A heaviness begins to sink into my chest. Bloodshed will only beget more bloodshed. This is why I cannot let any more die anymore. Please do your best, big sis. I am pulled out of my reverie by the voice of one of the little boys. Let's play together again when you come back. I stare at their smiling faces with blurry eyes. I do not even know if I will live through this, but I do not have the heart to ruin their optimism. I'd like that. I need them to keep hoping for a better tomorrow so they will be strong enough to stand on their own feet if they must face the whole world. Jurin, tell Delore and Parfait what happened when they come back to the Marchen. What are you planning to do? Under no circumstances are you to go to that witch alone, am I clear? Walt would not want you to sacrifice yourself for him. I step back and smile at her and Karma. I apologize for this. I back away towards the palace, putting as much distance as I can between them and the crowd, the platform, and Karma and Jurin. Then, as swiftly as I can, I hold out my hand and cast a large dome-shaped shield around the palace and I. The energy is falling away from me even as I cast the spell, only to be replaced by new energy. The tenebrium is gaining power. No! Jurin rushes forward towards the shield and places her hands on it. She calls my name, but I only shake my head at her. Princess Lucetta, do not be so foolish. No, I refuse to let anyone die. I can manage the shield for an hour. This should be enough time to save Walt and end this for good. I offer one last smile before I turn and rush through the palace gates. Durin and Karma continue to call my name, but to no avail. I am sorry, everyone, but this is something that I must do on my own. This is the only way I can protect you all. I expected resistance when I entered the palace, but to my surprise, there is no one here, not a single soul. Everyone must have evacuated when Mother appeared outside. The stagnant air around me is suffocating. The night is quiet and cold as death. My footsteps are very loud in the emptiness of the palace. If I give my power to her voluntarily, will I die? This thought has haunted me since I first entered the palace. All too soon, the doors to the throne room are before me. I pause in front of them, suddenly feeling anxious. There must be something else that I can do besides submit to Mother. I need to find a way to protect Walt and save Angelia from her. I clasp my hands together in a silent prayer. Father, please guide me. I take a deep breath and with renewed determination push open the doors. Chapter 10, The Brightest Star. When I enter the room, Mother is the first person I see. She is sitting so regal on the throne, but as I draw closer, I notice how pale she has become since I last saw her. That sentence makes it sound like she became even paler in the 20 minutes we've seen her, between her being outside and us meeting her in the throne room. Which does not bode well for the queen if she's even paler. She's really on her last legs, it sounds like. My gaze shifts to Walt, who is kneeling beside her like a loyal servant, a rope of light binding him in place. Walt! Lucetta, you shouldn't have come here. Mother flicks her wrist, tightening Walt's bounds. Hush now. My mind is racing as I desperately try to conjure a plan. If Walt has yet to escape, it must be because his bindings are stopping him from using his magic. If I can just break Mother's concentration, perhaps I can free him. But how do I do that? A terrible pain travels through my chest and makes my heart throb. I put a hand to my chest and grimace. It feels as if some part of me has suddenly been severed. This feeling, could it be that the shield I built around the palace has been destroyed? Oh, it seems like we have visitors. Oh, we do have visitors. The door flies open and Parfait suddenly walks in, face stern. Dolores strides in beside her. Why are you here? Everyone outside is safe. Garland, Durin, and Karma are doing their best to evacuate them to their homes. They will be safe there. And then there's you. You did a foolish thing striding in here on your own. How sad. I had expected more. I expected there to be more reinforcements, but it's just you two. We don't need an army to stop you, Hildur. Mother's lips curl into a tight frown. Bold words. But might I remind you, I am the one with the hostage. If I see any of you move a finger, I will end this boy's life. Mother turns to me once again and snickers, and I'm pretty sure my daughter wouldn't like that, would you, love? My eyes meet Walt's. He shakes his head at me, eyes gleaming with insistence. No doubt he'd want me to put myself over him, but I came here to save him. No matter how much I try to think myself out of this, it seems impossible. In the end, I am still weak. I am still useless. Now, where were we? Lucetta, don't do what she says. The rest of Dolores' words become muffled when Mother flicks her wrist and causes a glass wall to rise between us. Hildur. Dolores' voice sounds as if it is echoing from far away. Quiet. Parfait holds up her hand and magic begins to spark at her fingertips. Before she can form any sort of spell, Mother twists her fingers and tightens Walt's magic bindings. Walt cries out in pain as he collapses to the floor. Walt! Hildur, please stop this. Parfait approaches the glass wall and places a palm on top of it. Are you not growing tired of this, Hildur? The humans have already suffered so much for what they have done in the past. Is that still not enough? Humans are fickle creatures, and that is why they cannot be trusted. Nothing can ever change how I perceive them anymore. Fit. There is a shadow of sadness on Mother's face, but it's only momentarily. I cherished the humans, even respected them, yet they destroy my kindness out of fear for some silly story. If it had not been for that human bard, I would never have come to this. Hans had already paid dearly for his mistakes when a witch murdered him. But you know just as well as I that he was trying to mend his mistakes. Mother stomps her foot on the floor with a scowl. His death has changed nothing. Hildur, silence, Fed. You will never understand the feeling of being feared and hated. Mother turns to me again, her eyes cold. Now, you are ready to return what is rightfully mine, Lucetta? I look at Parfait and Delora and then at Waltz. I cannot give my power back to Mother, not when I know what she will do when she is the tenebrium bearer again. But I cannot let her kill Waltz either. If those fools here had not changed you, I would have no qualm letting you remain the tenebrium bearer. I raised you to be the perfect queen. As all that I did to prepare you for the crown. Mother knows best. Mother, that's it. If I can pretend that I am on her side, then maybe I can buy enough time to save Waltz. Maybe Parfait could come up with an idea. I glance at Waltz, my heart ache when our gaze meets once again. Forgive me, Waltz, but this is the only plan I have right now. I take a deep breath as I face Mother once again. You were right, I should have listened to you. I want to go back to the way we were, Mother. What are you doing? Lucetta! I ignore Walt's and Dolores' voices and focus only on Mother. You have always been right, Mother. I remember the disdained looks the people gave me earlier. Even after I saved everyone, they still wish I would die. I was so scared. Yes, now you see. I only wanted to protect you from those cruel humans, my daughter. You kept me away from everyone. I was alone. I'm so sorry, Mother. I am really sorry. I am sorry, but you need to go back to sleep forever. Only then do I realize I am crying, not because I need her forgiveness, but because there is no helping her. The only way to help my mother is to make her disappear. She cannot be saved anymore. I just wanted to be loved and accepted. Mother stands up from the throne and slowly walks towards me, her arms spread. And in my arms you will always be. Lucetta, the merchant accepted you for who you are. No, You were all forced to accept me because you knew what would happen if I stayed the way I was. You were afraid that I would end up like Mother. Lucetta, you were right. I am like my mother. We are related by blood, after all. You were right, Lucetta. You are sweet and perfect and wonderfully obedient, and as any daughter ought to be. I was blinded by the merchant's lies once, but I now realize that no one loved me as you do, Mother. Lucetta, the pain in Walt's voice is unbearable, but I do not look at him. I do not flinch away when Mother stops in front of me and wraps her arms around me. Gone is the warmth I thought I felt whenever she hugged me. Right now, Mother's embrace is cold as ice. Will you accept me, Mother? Of course, Lucetta. When Mother pulls back, the smile on her face is bright and beautiful. This is how I remember her, filled with love for me. I knew you would return to me. There are so many things I have planned for the two of us, but you need to prove yourself worthy for my love and trust once more. What? Mother's eyes gleam. Prove to me that you chose me, my darling. Mother turns around and gestures to Walt. Kill the traitor. My heart sinks. This wasn't part of the plan. What should I do now? I know that one offensive spell, but I do not want to hurt Walt. But you haven't perfected it yet, but what you can do is enough to hurt and paralyze your enemy for a short time. I can pretend to cast it on Walt and direct it at Mother. Walt's told me before that it is impossible to cast two shields at the same time. Mother already has one shield up, so she cannot cast another shield on herself unless she dispels the first. But with the two of us being so close, I am likely to hurt myself as well. I close my eyes, mind set. This is not the time to worry about myself. I just have to hope that this opening is big enough to give everyone the opportunity of what they need. For you, Mother, I will do anything. I extend my hand and allow the energy to gather in my fingertips. Impressive that you are able to learn this deadly and powerful magic in such a short span of time. This spell will be a benefiting end for the traitor. Lucetta, don't! Parfait attempts to break down the glass while separating us with the spell, but only cracks the surface. By the time you destroy that wall, it will be too late, Fets. You can't do this, Lucetta. Delora has now joined Parfait in trying to destroy the wall that Mother has built. I ignore them and focus back on my spell until I feel the familiar current of energy pulsating in my arms. It is ready. Now, say goodbye to that traitor. Goodbye. I hold out my hand to Mother just as I release the energy. Mother. I do not give Mother any time to react. The electricity crackles in the air just as the spell makes contact with her body. Because we were so close to each other, I too feel the impact of the electricity as it trickles through me. I collapse on the ground, tears in my eyes. It hurts so much. Lucetta. How could you do this, Lucetta? I blink away the tears to see Mother lying on the floor opposite me, her face filled with rage as she looks at me. Out of the corner of my eye, I notice that the glass wall has disappeared and Walt is already on his way towards me. The bindings made of light are gone. Walt lifts me up and then moves to one of the corners of the room. The sensation of pain spreads through my body is like being pricked by hundreds of needles. Walt tucks my hair back, his features creased with worry. Parfait walks to where Mother is and casts the binding spell around her while Delora rushes to my side. That was a dangerous stunt you pulled, Lucetta. It was the only thing I could think of. I blink away tears and as I feel another fit of pain. This is all I could manage. Lucetta, hang in there. I look at Parfait with pleading eyes. Parfait, please end this. Please save Mother from herself. Parfait slowly stands and walks towards Mother. I was the only one who truly loved you, Lucetta, yet you did this to me? Do you really think these fools care about you as much as I did? No, you are wrong. I had people who loved me, but you took them away from me. I refuse to let you steal away any more of them. Parfait stretches out her hand. Her whole body begins to emit a soft glow. I wish it didn't have to end this way, Hildur. You are making a big mistake protecting the humans who had destroyed your kind, Fett. You are no different than those humans, Hildur. Violence does not beget more violence. I can feel the tears on my cheeks as I look at Mother's still form. Lucetta, you don't have to see this, but Walt puts a hand over my eyes by blinding me. You've already seen enough darkness. I can feel an explosion of energy around me. A chilling current runs through the air, carrying Mother's screams to my ears. A soft energy begins to flow through my body. Mother's magic from the tenebrium. Mother is gone. When Walt draws his hand away, and I am able to glance at where Mother was just moments ago, there is nothing but specks of silver dust. Parfait stands over the ashes, crying. I'm so sorry. Another shock wave of pain courses through my body. This time I feel it attacking my consciousness. I feel myself fading away. Lucetta, let me sleep, just for a little while. One day, you will become queen, my love. Just like you, Mother? Yes, just like me. Will you be there when I become queen? Of course, will always be by your side. Forever, forever. I love you, Mother. I love you too, Lucetta. When I open my eyes, the first thing I see is Walt's. He is leaning over me, anxiety clearly etched onto his face. Waltz? Thank goodness you're finally awake. I slowly inspect my surroundings, only to realize that I am back in my old room at the Marchant. I try to remember how I got here, but my memories are hazy. It is kinda odd that we're back at the Marchant instead of still in the palace, but okay. What happened? You passed out and have been sleeping for 3 days. 3 days? I push myself up on the bed and wince. My body is unusually heavy. Walt places his hands on my shoulder and gently eases me back onto the pillow. You're still weak. You need more rest. I close my eyes and try to remember what happened. That's right. I was trying to save Walt from Mother. Parfait and Delora came to save us, and then it is over. I open my eyes and stare at Walt. Right? Walt reaches for my hand, smiling as he gently squeezes it. Yes. My vision blurs as tears begin to sting my eyes. I hope Mother is in a better place now, a place where she doesn't have to suffer anymore. Walt leans over and kisses my forehead. I'm sure she is. Walt begins to fill me in on the details of everything that transpired after I passed out. Alicester has officially declared dead. At first, there was a commotion as the people considered what Mother would do now that she wore the crown. Their worries only stopped when they found out Mother was truly gone. Fritz was locked up on account of being a possible danger to everyone. Everyone has been waiting for a verdict for me to decide what to do with him. I fell asleep not long after Walt's explanation. When I open my eyes again, I am alone in my room. It is odd that they're waiting for us to have a verdict of what to do with Fritz, where Ophelia technically is still queen, so she should be the one that comes up with the verdict. Unless Ophelia and her kids decide to step down and no longer be part of the royal family. I shiver as I sit up, head foggy. I rub my hands over my arms and attempt to will away some of the cold. Something feels off. I slowly step out of bed and begin to head for the door, but before I even lay my hand on the doorknob, it opens on its own. Oh, you're finally awake. Parfait. I don't think you should be up and about right now. You should still be resting. Parfait leads me back to the bed. How are you feeling? I look at Parfait's face and realize how paper white her skin has become. The circles under her eyes are even darker than they were before. Tired, but I will be fine. But you do not look well. I will be fine. I wanted to talk to you today if you're feeling up to listen. What is this all about? I wanted to apologize for forcing you to shoulder the heavy burden caused by our mistakes, both Hilder's and mine. Back then, I did not have the heart to stop Hilder. If I had only defeated her then, none of this would have happened. Parfait reaches out and cups my face in her hands. But if Parfait did stop and kill Hilder back when she should have, then we wouldn't be around at all. Your dedication and kindness saved us all, Lucetta. The future will be brighter with you as the Tenebrium bearer. But what if I become corrupted by the darkness? What if... Parfait places a finger on my lips and smiles. You are different. No, you are different, Lucetta. Unlike Hilder, you are surrounded by people who love you. Those people are filled with light. Light that will drive away whatever darkness invades your heart. That's why I know that you will be all right. Parfait smiles at me gently. It is a beautiful, shining smile, one that glows bright, even as I begin to notice that the rest of Parfait's body is fading. Oh no. Parfait, your body is... Parfait's smile becomes melancholy. I thought I would start to disappear soon. My heart aches as I hold tight to Parfait's arm with shaking hands. What are you saying? Fairies and witches do not age physically and live longer, but that does not mean we are perfectly immortal. The body can only take so much damage before it finally withers away. But you can't disappear. You said before you had no air. Because that is what I wanted everyone to believe. Don't worry, Lucetta. When I am gone, one of my relatives will take over the responsibility of bearer. Tears well up in my eyes as I stare at Parfait. I've already lost too many people, Parfait. I cannot lose you too. We were going to work together to bring back balance between the crystals. You said you still have so much to teach me. I'm sorry, Lucetta. I would love to have stayed with you a bit longer, but my time here is up. Parfait continues to grow more transparent, even as my hands slip through her arms. I try to reach for her again, but I can no longer touch her. Parfait. I've already said my farewells to everyone else earlier. You are the last and most important person I must say goodbye to. Thank you for putting everything to rest, Lucetta. Parfait closes her eyes, her lips still curled into a gentle smile, even as she begins to fade into pure light. Parfait, no. I reach for her again, but when I pull my hands back, they are covered in golden dust. The gentle dust float in the air before me where Parfait was moments ago. Be strong and be kind, Lucetta. I was not expecting Parfait to die. A few days after Parfait's passing, I went back to my training. My goal was to expel everyone's fairy tale curse once and for all. After more than a week of intense training with Walt and Delora, I am able to completely dispel the fairy tale curse from the crystallum tenebrium. Now, the fairy tale curse is non-existent and cannot be cast again in Angelia. There's only one of the first this is only one of the first steps I take in dismantling all of the damage Mother has done, but it is a step forward. And now, with that done, I feel it is time to return to the palace. As the only blood heir to the throne, I have a responsibility to uphold and a promise to fulfill. Ophelia, Rod, and Emily returned to the palace a couple days ago. Durin and Garland went with them so that they could act as security. Fritz has been pardoned and now resumes his duty at the palace, only he is no longer my personal knight. I opt to stay behind so I could spend one last day with everyone in the tavern. Now, as I stand here in the tavern, I realize how many friends I have made over the last few months. I never thought I would be so sad to part from all of these people. But now that everything is back to normal, we have no reason to stay here in the march-in together day in and out. Anise, are you sure you do not want to try working in the palace again? You would make a wonderful royal chef. Thank you so much for your offer, Princess, but as much as I love to cook, I think I prefer working more with medicine. I would like to train under Chevalier, so I can one day become a doctor. Oh, okay. I look at Rumple, Chevalier, as he flashes a smile at me. When his curse was dispelled, he remembered his real name, Chevalier. It had been difficult to get used to. Not only that, but his personality has mellowed somewhat. That doesn't make me want to play his route any more than I did before, which is not at all. At least he'll mellow out, which is nice, but that doesn't help, I guess. Take good care of Anise. But of course. And I hope next time we meet, you will try not to flirt with me. Chevalier snorts and crosses his arms, but I see a hint of mischievous as he smiles. I'll try my best, though I make no promises. I roll my eyes at him, and he responds with an easy laugh. I, too, am soon laughing along with him. Ah, a laughing princess. What a sight for sore eyes. This will definitely take some getting used to. I scowl at him. Seeing you in men's clothing will take some getting used to as well. Well, try your best not to fall for my handsome face. Right. So what are you planning to do? Karma looks away and rubs the back of his neck. Well, I'll go back to my kingdom and hope that I don't forget my name on a gravestone. Oh. Well, I'll go back to my kingdom and hope that I don't find my name on a gravestone. Either way, I have a lot of explaining to do. Delora, where will you go now? Well, for starters, I plan on talking to all the good witches I know who are still in hiding. I'm sure they'll be happy to know that they can finally come back to Angelia. They'll be even happier to know that we have a capable bearer. My heart sinks as I remember Parfait. If she were still here, she would be talking about how we both need to do our best to maintain the balance between the crystals. What if I fail at becoming a capable bearer? Impossible, especially with Waltz there by your side. Oh, but speaking of of which, where is Walt's? All of us glance around the circle. He left so quietly, none of us had even realized. I'll go look for him. I first moved to the forest, feeling that he might be in there seeking some kind of quiet solace. Sure enough, I find him there staring up at the sky with his eyes full of melancholy. Waltz? Oh. Hi there, little star. Are we leaving now? We will be leaving soon. You suddenly disappeared, so I came to look for you. Waltz's lips tug into a smile tinged with sadness. Sorry, I just thought the sky was so clear today. I had to come out to marvel at it. That is not a very convincing lie. Waltz looks up again, his smile slipping. Waltz, are you alright? Really alright? I'm a little sad. Sad? Hildur killed my family when I was still young. I've been yearning to be part of a family again ever since then. When we became friends so long ago, you were the closest thing to family I had. When we were pulled apart, I met Lady Parfait and was accepted at the Marchant. Now that it's time to leave everyone, I realized how sad I am. I've lived here since I was first cursed. Everyone in the Marchant has become my family. I moved to stand beside him and then reach out to take his hand. His fingers weave their way through mine. I owe Lady Parfait so much. She gave me a family and reunited us. I owe her a lot too. Walt turns to me and smiles. Sorry if I worried you. Shall we go back to the palace now? The palace? Not before you say your own goodbyes. I was planning on it. I just had to compose myself out here first. Compose? It's hard to imagine Walt's in tears. Well then, we will say our goodbyes and then you can open one of your portals. How about we walk to the palace? I shrink back at his suggestion. You know how much the townspeople despise me. I know it's important that I build a relationship with them before I become their new queen, but I do not think I'm ready for that yet. Walt's smile is reassuring. Oh, but I have something important to show you in town. Something important? You'll see when we get there, but Walt brings my hand to his lips and kisses my knuckles. I'll be by your side, little star, so there's nothing to fear. I stare at Walt for a few moments before finally nodding my head. Okay. We return to the Marchant temporarily to say our final farewells. After that, Walt and I walk into town in silence, as I am in awe as we enter the palace. I notice immediately that something is different. There are lilies decorations hanging all around the square and through the streets. I wonder why all these lilies are here. The people in the immediate vicinity turn to look at me, their conversations going quiet as they notice me. It is as I thought. Of course they still fear me. Big sister! I turn at the sound of a voice and notice one of the little girls that I played with once before running towards us. She almost makes it to us before a woman, I assume to be her mother, pushes her back. I'm surprised when the mother hands her daughter a bouquet of lilies and whispers something to her before releasing her. The little girl nods before running up to me. I bend down so that we are eye level, and am shocked when she suddenly throws her arms around my neck. Thank you, big sister. The girl pulls back and hands me the bouquet of lilies. My mama says thank you as well. I stare at her, still baffled, before glancing at her mother. The woman nods to me, then dips into a soft bow. I take the bouquet from the girl and stand up. I can only stare on, still shocked, as more townspeople approach me with lilies in their hands. What's going on? This is what I wanted to show you. Huh? The townspeople have been planning this for days. They asked me to make sure that you pass through town on this day so that they could give you their message. Message? I turn back to the people gathering around me and notice that they are all still holding the flowers with big with bright smiles on their face. The silence is gone, replaced by excited chatter and bright laughter. On the count of 3, he starts counting, and at the end of his countdown, the townsfolk throw the flowers up into the air. The delicate petals flutter down on Walt and I, showering us in gentle colors. Then, all at once, they begin to say the same phrase, their voices mingling to create the most harmonious and overwhelming gesture I have ever received. Thank you. You risked your life to save all of us despite how we treated you. We misjudged you, Your Highness. Please forgive us. We knew we had to give you a grand thank you for all you've done for us, so we planned this. So the lily decorations, they're a celebration for you, the soon-to-be queen. I feel tears gather in my eyes, and I quickly wipe them away with the back of my hand. But there is nothing to apologize for. I was the one at fault. We judged you harshly, and we had no right to. The past doesn't matter anymore. We've all decided to change for the better. For now on, you have our full cooperation. Just as we helped the previous king, so too shall we help you, Your Highness. Everyone, thank you. I will do my best to continue the reign of peace my father started. The people's eyes are filled with hope as they hand over lily bouquets. My hands are quickly filled, and Walt ends up having to take the majority of them. We continue towards the palace, the crowd cheering behind us. It has been 2 months since I returned to the palace. Since then, I've been working non-stop so that I can better familiarize myself with the running of a kingdom. I've been studying day and night, trying to broaden my knowledge of the kingdom. I had help from many people and have come a long way. Today, I'm officially crowned the new Queen of Angelia. My determination had only grown since then. I've been trying to take my responsibilities as seriously as I possibly can, but for the time being, I have space to breathe. A dinner celebration had been planned for tonight, and I am on my way to my room to prepare. Everyone will be there. I cannot wait to see them again. Lucetta. I turned to see Emily running towards me. I noticed that Rod is still trailing behind her. What's the matter? You seem to be in a hurry. What's the matter? The party is in a few hours and you're still not dressed. This really isn't so dire a circumstance. It has been months, but it's still so strange to hear Rod's voice actually coming from his own mouth. Please calm down, Emily. Even though Rod has his voice back, he still keeps Sabby with him. The stuffed rabbit sometimes throws in little comments here and there. But this event is very important. It will not take me 2 hours to prepare, Emily. But it might. You're the queen now. You must look regal tonight. I raise an eyebrow at her. 2 hours is a little excessive. And I'm not planning to do anything overly special tonight. But don't you want to at least look pretty for Waltz? What are you talking about? Mother and I want to make you shine so bright Waltz won't be able to take his eyes off you. Emily. I won't take no for an answer this time. She turns to Rod with a mischievous grin. We'll be done soon. I'll see you later, Rod. Without waiting for my reply, Emily grabs my hand and pulls me into my room. And with that, I am done. I cannot believe it took so long just to put on makeup. I do not think making myself up like this would be enjoyable, but doing this with Ophelia and Emily was fun. You look so beautiful, Lucetta. You really do look the part of a queen. Isn't this too much? Not at all. You should take pride in doing yourself up like this sometimes. You have a lovely face, Lucetta, if you insist. Now that we've helped you, we need to help ourselves. The celebration is just around the corner. We'll see you later, dear. Ophelia? M? They both stop right in front of the door. Thank you. For everything. Of course. This is what families do, Lucetta. The two smile at me one last time before they exit the room. I stand up and head for the balcony. The cool air is refreshing on my skin. Father, if you had also been here tonight would have been perfect. Lucetta, come in. I've come to let you know that everyone has arrived early. Walt comes to an abrupt stop when he sees me. He openly stares at me, mouth slightly opened in awe. My face warms up. What? Walt turns his face away, his face deep red. You look beautiful tonight. Thank you. A gentle smile forms on Walt's lips as he approaches. He stops in front of me, gently tracing my cheek with one of his fingers. His touch leaves a trail of warmth on my cool skin. My star is shining brighter tonight. Walt holds out his hand. May I have this dance, my lady? I cannot help but giggle as I place my hand in his. Before the dance even starts, Walt has suddenly wrapped an arm around my waist. He tilts me downwards with a smile. That's a cute dress. Walt draws closer to me, his lips pulling up into a mischievous smile. I'm lucky to be the first man to see you tonight, but I don't like the idea of other men seeing you as you are. I'm going to be awfully jealous. I give him a teasing smile. Are you worried that someone will take me away from you? Not really. Should I be? You know my feelings for you will never change. I do dislike that Walt didn't dress up. Like, can we have a cute little couple image? Like, it's cute that we're dancing, but like, can you dress up? I don't need you to look like just a like peasant. And you know that I will always love you, no matter what. The two of us are frozen in time. I feel myself standing here looking into Walt's eyes like this forever. I love you, Lucetta. I love you too, Walt. And that is the end of Walt's route. That was cute. Not my favorite route so far, but it's not bad. It had its cute moments. It was kind of odd that we weren't the one that killed our mother. But it, like I said, not my favorite route. It is more of a friends to lover route, which is fine. It's just not my favorite type of genre. We did learn a lot in this route, though, like world building wise. So, but I am actually kind of hungry, so we're gonna probably call it here, and we'll do Star Rail, I don't know, maybe Friday, we'll see. like I said, we'll see if I do a stream or if I'm just gonna record it and post a video. But we're almost done with this game. We have Rumpel to do, and we have Fritz to do. And next time we play this game, we're gonna do Fritz. We're still missing one there. We're missing a decent chunk of dreams. Okay. But yeah, so we're gonna start playing Final Fantasy 3 next week. And I think I'm relatively certain I've played parts of 3 before, but I can't say for certain I ever have. So it will be interesting to I've played a few Final Fantasy games, so it's not like I've never played one before. I just don't know if I've played 3 before. So we'll play that starting next week. And I think that's it. I hope you all have a good rest of your day. I will see you, like I said, either Friday when we do Star Rail, or next Wednesday around this time when we play Final Fantasy 3. But have a good rest of your day. Bye.